In 1824, Jackson, Clay, Calhoun, and Adams all ran for president. Jackson and Adams were the two main runners. Jackson won the most popular and electoral votes. Henry Clay, the Speaker of the House at the time, convinced Congress to elect Adams, who then made Clay his Secretary of State. Jackson supporters denounced this as a corrupt bargain. Prior to the War of 1812, tariffs had primarily served to raise revenue to operate the national government. The Tariff of 1816, also known as the Protective Tariffs, helped American industries by raising prices of British manufactured goods. Tariff of 1828 raised the tariff on imported manufactured goods. It protected the North but harmed the South economically, and it was unconstitutional because it violated state rights. Andrew Jackson was not much of a Native American supporter. In May 28, 1830, the Indian Removal Act was signed by Andrew Jackson. The law authorized the president to negotiate with Southern Native American tribes for their removal to federal territories west of the Mississippi River in exchange for their land. Due to the removal policy, the Cherokee Nation was forced to give up its land east of the Mississippi River and migrate. The Cherokee people called this journey the Trail of Terrors because of its devastating effects. In McCutcheon versus Maryland, the Supreme Court ruled that Congress had implied powers under the necessary and proper clause of the Constitution to create the second bank of the U.S., and that the state of Maryland lacked the power to tax the bank. The ruling was that states cannot interfere with any agency of the federal government. The Adams-Onis Treaty was an 1819 treaty between the U.S. and Spain, in which Spain ceded Florida to the U.S.
Missouri requested to enter the Union as a slave state, but this would upset balance between slave and free states. Missouri Compromise, made by Henry Clay in 1820, entered Maine as a free state in 1820 and Missouri as a slave state in 1821 to keep peace and to keep the free and slave states balanced. James Monroe and America did not want Europe to have land so close to theirs because they thought that they would expand and take over North and South America, and that was seen as a threat to the United States. James Monroe then declared North and South America off limits to European powers, and the United States then agreed to avoid European affairs.
Transportation Revolution. Before the Transportation Revolution, American roads were ruts craved into the ground. These roads were not very reliable, and the need to improve them grew, as did the movement of people due to westward expansion. The very first highway built by the federal government in 1825 through 1850, the National Road stretched from Pennsylvania to Illinois and was a major overland shipping route. Another improvement to American transportation was the Erie Canal. This canal, completed in 1825 between Albany and Buffalo, New York. The benefits of this canal were that it reduced travel time, lowered the cost of shipping, and grew towns along this canal. Also, the steam engine was created using heat to produce steam and turn a turbine or force a piston to move up and down in a cylinder. New inventions. Americans were first copiers, then innovators, and were willing to try anything. In 1793, the cotton gin was created by Eli Whitney, but actually invented by slaves to process the cotton quicker and cheaper. But that's not all. Interchangeable parts, also invented by Eli Whitney, was used in manufacturing. This identical component can be used as a replacement for another part. Another unique invention that helped make and produce things quicker was the assembly line. The assembly line was used in mass production, which manufactured goods in large quantities.